The Alaska route isn't just a road, it's so much more than that. It represents a vital connection, a lifeline, and a testament to human ingenuity in the face of challenging geography. It's a complex network of highways, ferries, and even air corridors, all working in concert to keep Alaska connected. This network is what connects Alaska to the rest of the U.S. through Canada, providing essential pathways for trade, travel, and community connection. The Alaska Highway, with its rich history dating back to Wantu, is undoubtedly the most iconic element of this route. However, the ferries of the Alaska Marine Highway System and the essential air routes are equally vital, especially when it comes to reaching and supplying remote communities that are inaccessible by road. Alaska's geographical separation from the lower 48 states underscores the critical importance of these transportation links. This distance makes these routes a lifeline, ensuring the steady flow of people, essential goods, and vital services that sustain Alaskan communities. Trucks tirelessly haul supplies daily, navigating the long stretches of highway to keep shelves stocked and businesses running. Meanwhile, ferries diligently serve towns and villages with no road access, providing a crucial link to the outside world. Without these reliable and consistent links, Alaska's economy would suffer greatly, and the daily lives of countless Alaskans would be profoundly impacted. The highway's initial construction stands as a powerful symbol of U.S.-Canada cooperation, demonstrating what can be achieved through shared goals and collaborative effort. And for decades since, both countries have relied on mutual trust and understanding to maintain this vital artery. This trust has been essential to keep the corridor open and functioning smoothly, ensuring the continued flow of goods and people. The route not only supports essential commerce but also fuels tourism and strengthens the cultural ties that bind communities together. These connections extend across the border, fostering relationships and shared experiences on both sides. It's far more than just logistics and transportation. It's a shared artery that facilitates adventure, supports families, and enables businesses to thrive. Therefore, closing it isn't simply a policy change or an administrative decision, it severs a vital connection, disrupting the flow of life and commerce. This severance impacts a legacy that's shaped the North for generations, influencing its culture, economy, and social fabric. The potential disruption raises urgent and critical questions that demand immediate attention and careful consideration. These questions revolve around Alaska's future access, the long-term stability of this critical link, and the potential consequences of its disruption. The Alaska route is, and always has been, the region's lifeline, and its continued operation is essential for the well-being of Alaska and its people. Canada's decision to block the Alaska route stems from a complex interplay of factors. It's not a simple yes or no, but a multifaceted consideration. First and foremost, national security is a key concern. Environmental protection also plays a significant role in this decision, and of course, there are underlying political concerns that influence the situation. Canadian officials cite the need to maintain border integrity, ensuring the security of their national boundaries, and to safeguard public safety for all its citizens. They are particularly worried about the potential for illicit activities along the remote and sparsely populated highway. Environmental groups have been vocal, pushing for stricter controls and greater oversight, citing the vulnerability of fragile northern ecosystems that could be easily disrupted, and the ever-present threat of climate change, which is already having a significant impact. The closure also serves as a bargaining chip, providing leverage in ongoing U.S.-Canada trade disputes, giving Ottawa a stronger position in negotiations. Furthermore, infrastructure costs are another significant factor to consider. Maintaining the highway, especially in such a remote and challenging environment, is incredibly expensive, and Canada is seeking a new cost-sharing deal with the U.S. to alleviate the financial burden. Ultimately, this move is about protecting Canadian interests on multiple fronts, while simultaneously forcing a broader and more comprehensive conversation with the U.S. on a range of issues. The closure is as much about strategic negotiation and diplomatic maneuvering, as it is about immediate concerns regarding security or the environment. The border closure's impact is immediate and far-reaching, sending ripples throughout the region. Alaska's supply chain is severely disrupted, creating bottlenecks and uncertainty. With overland routes blocked, goods are now forced onto costly ships and planes, significantly increasing transportation expenses. Everyday items become noticeably more expensive, impacting household budgets across the state. Travel options for Alaskans shrink dramatically, limiting personal mobility and access to essential services. Residents lose the freedom to drive south for leisure, business, or family visits. This intensifies the feeling of being isolated from the rest of the country, exacerbating existing challenges for remote communities. Canadian towns along the route, heavily reliant on Alaskan traffic for their economic survival, face severe economic hardship as tourism and trucking operations grind to a halt, threatening livelihoods and local economies. Local businesses see widespread cancellations of bookings and reservations. Consequently, revenue streams plummet, jeopardizing their ability to stay afloat. Industries from tourism, which relies heavily on seasonal traffic, to construction, dependent on timely material deliveries, are thrown into chaos. This results in project delays and soaring costs, impacting overall economic growth. Even the U.S. military, with its strategic presence in Alaska, must rethink its logistics and supply routes. The closure starkly exposes just how fragile Alaska's connection to the outside world really is, highlighting its vulnerability and dependence on reliable transportation corridors. Alaskans are frustrated and angry, feeling cut off by a foreign government. Social media is filled with stories of disrupted lives and fears of rising costs. U.S. officials have condemned the closure, calling it an unfriendly act and demanding a reversal. Canadian leaders defend the move as necessary for national security and environmental protection. Local Canadian communities are divided. Some support Ottawa, but many fear economic disaster. Mayors along the highway warn of deep losses caught between national policy and local needs. The crisis has sparked debate on both sides of the border about sovereignty, economics, and the future of cross-border cooperation. The best hope is high-level diplomacy, negotiations to address security concerns, environmental concerns, and funding concerns. Possible solutions include joint patrols, stricter environmental standards, and shared infrastructure costs. If talks fail, the U.S. may invest in costly alternatives like mega ferries or expanded air cargo, bypassing Canada entirely. Temporary fixes, like load swapping at the border, may help, but aren't sustainable. Alaskan communities will need support to weather higher costs. The outcome could reshape U.S.-Canada relations for years, either strengthening cooperation or deepening mistrust. The next steps will determine not just Alaska's future, but the nature of one of the world's closest alliances.